jobs. It was tremendous getting the survivors back to where they needed to be. Does anyone have another question? Yes,
Well,
Joshua.
wasn't France taken by the Germans? What did you say that?
France was divided into two. One was the Vichy government, which was the German occupation, and the other one was a free French area. Okay, so the person that ruled France at that time was Marshal Pétain, who was in the First World War. He was a hero to the French country, but in the Second World War he collaborated with the Nazis. So whatever the German government wanted to do, he went ahead and did it.
Any other questions? Yes, Helen.
Could you tell us a little bit more about your experience in the orphanage? Were there other Jewish children in the orphanage? Did they try to place you with families?
You have to realize one thing. I would say 95% of Jewish children that were taken by Catholics, they were trying to convert them. Matter of fact, lately there's an article that I read that in France, one of the bishops ordered that they cannot release, even though the children are now my age, or the second or third generation from them, that they will not be released from the Catholic Church, because they, as long as they had baptism, if it's forced or not, they were considered Catholics, and there was no way out for them.
So the Catholic Church won't release the names. They won't tell who it was
No,
done to.
exactly.
So it was done to very young children, so unfortunately a lot of these people don't know they're Jewish, even though, because they were raised as Catholics, and it was very hectic times, and they were taken from their families very young. So when they were brought in and saved by the Catholics, they were converted, which was the policy at the time. But you were a little bit older, so you knew to resist.
Exactly.
You knew to resist, and you wanted to resist.
Yes.
How old were you when you decided to leave the orphanage? I'm very struck by that.
11 and a half.
11 and a half. So
Yeah.
you left the orphanage
Yeah.
and you went to the camp
Yeah, went to the
and
camp.
offered to help.
And offered to
That's
help.
remarkable. That's
It is
remarkable. Remarkable young man. And then I'm so struck by this. And the people in the camp, how they took you in and they took good care of
me in
you.
right away. They took care of me.
You said the living arrangements were more. You were living in a bed in the forest. Like
Yeah.
what was? Where did you
In
eat?
cottages, you know, like
Cottages.
cottages.
So who would cook for you and
They,
feed you?
The resistance, each member had something else to do. If they didn't have to fight, then they were doing their living condition.
Was it unusual to have an 11-year-old boy there, or were there other children there?
As far as I know, I was the only one.
Remarkable. Just remarkable.
But in that one particular camp that I went in, but in other camps there were other young people too. They didn't have to be Jewish, but they were there because of their parents maybe. So, okay, because there were a lot of French people that were against the German government. And also, if anything would happen, if one German got killed, there would be a roundup of a lot of French people, and they would get killed because of that.
Derek?
It was a vicious cycle. Yes, sir.
You were in a Christian orphanage. Did you feel a little out of place because you were?
In the beginning, I didn't feel out of place because in the beginning, they didn't do anything as far for me to go to church or anything. But I learned the French and all this. But as I got older, and they decided it's time to convert, that's when I started to feel differently.
Yes.
Was there ever a moment where you felt like you were going to be captured by the Nazis, like without a doubt?
Was there ever a time when you thought for sure you'd be captured by the Nazis?
I didn't think of it.
You didn't
I
think
just took a chance and that's it. I mean, if you're gonna start thinking what's gonna happen, you're not gonna do what you wanna do. Yes, sir.
Did your parents, once the war was over, ever go back to Austria? Did you lose other family? Did you lose any family there?
My immediate family did not, but my sister did go back and forth. But she went back and forth because of the field of employment that she had.
For her job.
For her job, yeah.
Now, you have family, of course, in Israel, you have family throughout America.
Yeah.
And do you know if you still have family in Europe?
In Europe, I don't think so.
No.
No. Yes, dear.
Was all of your family saved, at least all of your, immediate family that, not only came to the United States, but, tried to enter other countries?
My uncle, who lived 2 blocks away from where we lived in Austria, he took his family to Luxembourg, and from Luxembourg they went to England, and from England they came to the United States. And his son, in 1943, enlisted in the army, in the U.S. Army, and went back to Germany to fight.
The reason I ask is my father-in-law actually was on, I think it was the last ship out of Germany. And when, at some point before I got married to my husband, I was over his house and they got a call. They had family they'd never seen since Germany. And they had family that was scattered in South America, Israel, and other countries. And they had not heard from some of this family since World War II.
No, my family was either in the United States or Israel. Yes, sir.
What happened to your grandmother after you?
My grandmother lived in the States for quite a few, many years. And then she went to Israel to see her other son that lived in Tel Aviv. And then she passed away in Israel.
Any last questions? Yes, Nina?
Did you ever have any good friends in France or wherever?
No,
No.
no.
You talk about good friends in your autobiography in America
Yeah.
who helped you
Yeah.
as you became an independent working man, people who befriended you and really
It helped me out.
really helped you. But it was very tough times in Europe, very tough times.